Hi, everyone, and welcome back to It All Starts With a Wish podcast. My name is Rachel.
And I'm Mark.
And we're going to be doing a nice restaurant review
Yeah,
today.
Hopefully we'll be able to do these once a month, I think is the plan. And there are literally so many restaurants in Disney World that we'll have hundreds of months to fill.
It will be never ending because we're always adding new ones, too.
Yes. We'll also be doing resort reviews, one per month, at least for the first quarter, but we will run out of resorts fairly quickly.
That we will run out of, yes. But we could do an updated one if we go to visit them or we find out anything new and things like that. But today, we're going to go to Animal Kingdom, and we are going to go to one of our favorites as of time of recording, as of now, and that is Yak and Yeti Restaurant. Located in Asia of Animal Kingdom.
Love Yak and Yeti.
It is so good. And you want to know something?
One of my faves.
The first time I think I heard of it, I was like, no, I would never eat there. I don't like anything there. I don't know why I would say such a thing.
This is normal for you, though.
Yeah, it is.
You always fight something new. And
yeah,
I'm like,
it's not in my
new.
No, I know. I usually don't like to veer away from the things that I already know that I like.
No, but then you try it. And then
I know,
like,
and then I try it.
So
and then
good.
it's like
Why
the
didn't
best
I
thing
try
ever.
this sooner?
Yeah.
It's like clam chowder all over again. Refuse to eat it. Refuse to eat it. Now she loves it.
Well, it depends on who made it, too. There are good and bad clam chowders.
There are, yes. But there's good and bad everything.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
It's your unwillingness to try
Yeah, I didn't
things.
want to try any of it.
That's correct.
So
and then you turn out to really like it.
So the same thing happened with this Asian-inspired. It's not really one particular type of Asian cuisine. It's kind of a little bit of everything.
Yeah, they describe Yak and Yeti as type of cuisine, American, Asian, Chinese, and seafood.
Yeah.
So kind of Asian in a broad sense, both like Thai, Chinese,
they do
Japanese,
noodles,
kind of a little bit of the spectrum there. And then their description for Yak and Yeti is travelers can relax and replenish with a pan-Asian feast in this beautiful Nepalese-style restaurant.
Yes.
So it's themed like you're in Nepal, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So when you first fits right into the Everest feel.
Yeah. No, totally. When you first turn into where you enter Asia in Animal Kingdom, if you have been there, the first thing you're greeted with is Yak and Yeti and this huge tree. This huge tree is right there.
Yeah, if you've gone past, this is not cutting through Dino Land.
Not cutting from Dino Land.
This is if you have gone around the Tree of Life and enter Asia that way across that bridge.
Go right.
It'll be right in front of you there.
Yeah, if you're at the Tree of Life, veer to the right, go down that path, and that entrance is what I'm talking about. Yeah, beautifully themed. You wouldn't even think it was a restaurant. It's the building. From the outside, I feel like the building is quite subtle.
It is.
But the inside is beautiful.
Yeah.
And it definitely gets
it fits
the grandeur
right into
inside.
Asia.
Yeah, really fits it. There's like a grand staircase in the middle of it to go up to it. It's really cool.
So for restaurant reviews, similar to how we've done resort reviews where we had 5 different categories, we'll have 5 different categories for a restaurant review as well. We will rank each one of the categories on a 1 to 5 star basis. So 1 to 5 scale, 1 being atrocious, awful, don't recommend. 5,
is there an option for 0 stars?
I suppose, if it's that bad.
I mean, I don't think anything's that bad, but I was just curious.
Sure. We can do 0 through 5.
No, just 1.
Okay, 1 through 5, whatever. And 5 being the absolute best, 3 being average, middle of the road. And so the 5 categories, which we will rank each one of our restaurants on, is first, 1, ambiance and theming.
Yep.
So kind of the general feel, what it looks like, how does the theming work, not only in the restaurant, but within the broader sense of the park. Like, does it fit into the land in the park or in the hotel that it's in? 2, offerings. What are we looking at for menu offerings? Is there some variety? Is there a good variety for both picky eaters and non-picky eaters?
Or is it more specified to a particular palate?
Sure. Yeah. Or is it just like literally cheeseburgers and hot dogs? That's a 0 for me.
Basic.
Or a 1. Okay, right? So what is the diversity of offerings for people? 3, the food itself. Makes a lot of sense for that to be a category. Perhaps that should be the most important of the categories. But we will equally weight all the categories.
Yes, they're equal.
But food, of course, and how good the food is. 4, is it kid-friendly? So for us, I think this is important since our podcast is focused towards families visiting, but in a broader sense.
And we have our own little family, so, he didn't eat much this trip. And we have some allergies. So we will definitely be talking about some of that stuff as well.
Yeah. But how kid-friendly is it? And are there good options for kids? And 5, value. And we said this rather than price because I think value captures more of what we're trying to do here. To rank a counter service, quick service restaurant, which is going to have cheaper prices, against another restaurant that's a sit-down restaurant with better food, the price is obviously going to be higher at the sit-down restaurant than it is at the counter service restaurant.
Yeah, but what are you getting for that higher price? To rank it
on price, like you could give all of the best restaurants with the highest price ones because it's so expensive.
Right.
But is it worth it? Is it worth paying that money? I think is more valuable than is the price.
That's going to be like kind of the overall rating, I feel like, for overall value and price and what you're getting. So that last category is going to kind of, do everything.
And then just like we do in the resort reviews, we'll add them all together, divide by 5, and we'll come up with a final score.
Woohoo!
So, ambiance and theming is number 1.
Yeah, I've already started. Sorry.
It's okay.
Dove right in. Theming overall, I'm going to give this a 4. Just because, there are other restaurants.
Getting my pen ready. 4 for Rachel.
I think that there are other restaurants that tell more of a story through the whole experience, and this one does that in the place that you're in, but like the cast members are just typical waiters and waitresses, and there's really nothing, special as far as that. But the restaurant itself is beautiful on the inside and definitely, makes you feel like you are in a different country.
Yeah.
You are there. So, that's why I would give it a 4.
I totally agree. I would give it a 4 as well. I don't think it's the best of the best when it comes to theming and ambiance, but it does fit really well into Asia, into that portion of Animal Kingdom. It does kind of hit upon that, like if you are on a trek to Everest and you're heading towards kind of that
stopping
ride,
in.
Right? It's a little waypoint. Yeah. It's meant to be one of those not halfway houses, but one of those kind of like public houses that people could stop in a country like Nepal, pick up some supplies.
Sleep the night, eat.
A lot of Asian inspired and
the art and statues in there.
The statuettes and things like that that are in there. Very fitting. It is just generally a kind of pretty inside with all the statues and figurines and pictures and the way that it's designed, and it does have that cool staircase in the middle.
Yeah, it doesn't feel cheesy in the sense of like, I don't know, I feel like being in the United States going to, a typical Chinese restaurant or Japanese restaurant feels kind of like...
Can feel cheesy.
Of just like, okay, really? Like,
no. It does have an authentic air to it.
It does. It has the touches of the culture in a very nice way without it feeling overly cheesy about it. What's next? Food? No.
Offerings. Food offerings. So
there is a wide range. We said it was Pan-Asian. That's how they describe it. So Chinese, Asian, there's definitely some Thai on the menu. So, if you are generally okay with, the Asian cuisine, there's definitely something on the menu for you.
Oh, 100%. And even if you're not, like, there are options too.
Oh, there's burgers.
That aren't. But there's, so for example, like some of your apps, Bang Bang Calamari, pot stickers, a wok fry,
the pot
green
stickers
beans,
are good.
Egg rolls, firecracker shrimp, ahi tuna nachos, lettuce cups, Korean fried chicken. Then you have your like wonton soups, seared tuna salad. You have your noodles and bowls. So a dragon roll bowl.
That's what I'm going for.
Lo mein chicken.
There it is.
Lo mein shrimp.
There it is. Lo mein chicken.
Vegetable lo mein. Seafood curry. So they have the bowl options. They also have some specialty dishes like tikka tikka masala, coconut shrimp, some duck even. So this is there is a good range of things that if you want to be a little more adventurous and try duck, which is not necessarily a traditional American dish, but they do have that. But then they also have one of my favorite things, is the Kobe beef burger.
Yes.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the best cheeseburgers you will ever have in your life.
I feel like there were other restaurants we used to always go to in Disney, and now since going to Yak and Yeti because we just wanted to try it, it has now became like we go every trip.
Oh yeah,
we make it a point to go to Yak and Yeti every trip. This Kobe beef burger is
going to melt in your mouth. And we can talk more about the food itself in a little bit here. Maybe I'm getting a little out of the way with that. But there's teriyaki chicken, there's barbecue ribs. So there's some more like actual traditional, authentic.
Or I guess like you can
Asian
be a picky
food.
eater, and if you like a cheeseburger, you're gonna like this burger.
Right.
Like it.
Right. There's also American dishes that have an Asian twist.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying sometimes when they twist things when you're kind of just like, I just want a burger. Like, why does it have to be a spicy something? Or, like, why can't it just be a regular thing? Like, they do keep it plain as far as, like, your traditional stuff with, like, maybe a little twist, but not so much of a twist that a picky eater is not going to enjoy it.
Right.
And they can eat it.
Right.
So, I know that's your favorite. You don't stop talking about it, so.
So, yeah, I think that there is you have authentic Asian food. And all different varieties of it. So you have some adventurous stuff, and then you have more American dishes that have a Asian flair to it.
Yeah.
So what would you give offerings?
I would have to go with a 4.
A 4?
I mean, yeah. I would go with a 4. I mean, it's so hard because if I'm doing this for someone who doesn't know anything about, like, if I'm doing this for someone who like might not like Asian food, I would go 4. If you already know that you do like that type of food, then 5. But I feel like to go more general for a general audience and things, I'll go 4 because I myself was a little nervous when you hear that kind of flair or like twist on things. You're like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna like it, but I definitely think there's enough there that a picky eater will definitely.
Oh yeah, you'll find something. Yeah. I think that you'll like.
I don't do any of the appetizers. Not really a seafood person. The pot stickers. Sorry, those are really good. But I don't really do the spicy or the seafood.
I'm gonna give it a 5.
Really?
Yeah, I think that overall your options, sure, it is very Asian centric.
Specific, yeah.
But there is enough there that I think anybody can look at that menu and find at least one thing that they're going to like. And it's not just going to be like, okay.
And it's not just going to be like chicken fingers.
You go to a restaurant and it's like right.
Yeah.
And they're okay chicken fingers.
And they're all
they're kind of rubbery. They're kind of hard. Like
because that's not what they focus on.
Right. Right. But they're doing it because they know that they need to have someone for this. You have awesome options that... I shouldn't say you have awesome options. You have good options that will meet your needs, but also are not just, like, adequate. Like, it's actually really good food.
Like typical theme park food.
Right. Like, it's really good food.
A good restaurant.
So, even if you don't like Asian food or inspired food, like, you can have one of the best cheeseburgers that you've ever had in your life. Or really good barbecue ribs or, you have something good like options. So that's why I would give it a 5. Next category is food.
Food.
What are you giving it?
5.
No hesitation.
No.
I will second the 5. No hesitation.
No hesitation. Anything I've had, I really only had the same thing. But I've tried your burger. I have my chicken lo mein that it is.
And tried a few different plates that people have had.
Best.
I've never had a bad meal there.
Lo mein ever.
Never had a bad meal there. The noodles, fantastic. The burger, fantastic. The chicken, great. Not at all. Sometimes you run the risks in certain restaurants of chicken being like rubbery or hard or like chicken's always great. Even like
the vegetables feel fresh and like the lo mein,
things like that. Like
so good.
Everything feels fresh, feels just delicious.
It's just so good.
If I could go on about my Kobe beef burger, I know that it has a lot to do with the fact that it's Kobe beef, which is a very high-end.
It is an expensive burger.
It is an expensive burger, but it's well worth it.
Do you know what the price is?
Have you ever had It's like 20 something bucks.
Yeah, $24.49.
Now, don't hear that and be like, I'm not paying $24 for a cheeseburger.
No, it is
when
so
I
good.
say the burger melts in your mouth, when have you ever eaten a cheeseburger and the burger just melts in your mouth? Never.
Amazing.
Okay? Never besides here. Okay? Such high quality meat.
Actually, I'm looking at the
toppings,
menu.
Delicious. Even the freaking French fries, right? This
Yeah,
is an Asian restaurant.
And
the French fries are phenomenal.
Yeah. They're definitely seasoned different. Like, still salty, but they definitely have more of like a steak fry seasoning on them.
Yeah,
and
again, this is not what they do. They do Asian-inspired food.
I know.
So,
and we're saying the French fries are really good.
Right.
We've actually never had room for dessert.
No.
There. We've never had dessert
That's
there.
how good
but let me tell you,
and...
there is a mango key lime cheesecake
Ooh.
that I'm looking at, and it looks like it would be absolutely amazing.
I'm
it
sure
says it's topped with mango mousse on a vanilla coconut macaron crust.
Wow. Maybe next time we need to make...
I don't know. I fill up on all the noodles, so...
we need to make a concerted effort to save some room for dessert next time. That way we can actually speak to that.
Yeah.
The food here is phenomenal.
Yes, it is. I've never had anything bad here. And I've never had anybody else who's gotten different things. We went with our family of 8 of us, all there, in all different palates, and... You know, some adventurous, some non, and they were all like, wow, that was really good.
Yeah, we've been multiple times, too, with different family member groups. Like, went once with my father and my sister, brother-in-law,
We've been multiple times, just the two of us.
They love it.
Because they want to go to, I don't know, a
your
quick
parents
service
and your
thing.
sister this last trip loved it.
Yep.
So, yeah, food, phenomenal. 5 out of 5, no question in my mind.
5 out of 5.
Next category is kid-friendly.
Is it kid-friendly? Yes.
So let's look at some of the kids' meal options. I was actually, as I was scrolling through the menu, amazed at how many kids' options there are.
Okay, so usually I feel like when you go to a restaurant that's, you know, a specific genre of food, I feel like they usually only have, like, mac and cheese and chicken tenders. Mm-hmm. And, like... maybe one dish that's maybe like a steak or something if you have, you know, an adventurous kids. But there are 8 different options.
And like what I like about this kids menu,
and they go into that,
is that
like flavor.
Well, yeah, I like that there are some like just
There's
it's a plain
rice,
cheeseburger,
stir-fry noodles,
plain cheeseburger.
Oh yeah, just
right?
plain cheeseburger. Yep.
Mini corn dogs. Grilled chicken breast.
Yeah.
Simple, right? Mac and cheese. Simple. But there's also chicken tenders. But there's also options for kids who may be a little more adventurous and who may want to have some teriyaki chicken breast. Or who may want to have chicken fried rice. Or who may want to have stir-fry noodles.
Yeah.
So I think that that's a really cool balance.
And it won't be as much,
to your point.
You know, like the stir-fry won't be as much in there. Like, I'm sure there's not as many vegetables and stuff like that it's in the regular lo mein that is the kids one. Like, there'll be a little bit, but it'll be a little downsized, you know, to make it a little more kid friendly. But this is a very, very large kids menu.
It is. And choice of 2 sides with that, and you have your traditional sides like applesauce, fresh fruit, carrot sticks, corn, go-gurt, steamed veggies, white rice, brown rice. So again, a good mixture of...
Yeah, if you wanted to do noodles and rice or chicken and rice, like you still get a good meal and you don't feel like your kid's always eating chicken nuggets or mac and cheese.
And then also comes with milk or apple juice too.
Yep.
So the price is a little steep for a kid's meal, I think. $11.49 for all of these.
Yeah.
Which is kind of pricey for a kid's meal. But I will say that the options that are provided, and keep in mind you're getting 2 sides... And a drink for that price. So I think from just the menu perspective, like, this is an awesome kids menu, I would argue. The one thing that I will knock it, and I'm going to give it a total of a 4 for kid friendly. And the one reason why I'm going to knock it is that this restaurant there'll be a lot of kids there. Yeah. And so there is kind of a louder atmosphere there. But this is not a Chef Mickey's or one of those restaurants that's clearly geared towards kids and has stuff for kids.
Restaurant.
It's a typical restaurant that happens to have kids in it.
Yeah.
Right? So you're not going to feel out of place bringing a kid there. but there's nothing that's actively
like
intended or entertaining for the kid.
Yeah.
So that's
so
why
it could get
I
a little
will
like
bounce
boring
it down to a 4. Because it is just like a traditional restaurant with nothing that's overly entertaining or eye-catching or, deliberately
like, I
intended
love this place.
for kids.
Like, it's just going to be like, yeah, we're at Yak and Yeti.
Right.
Like, big deal.
Right.
It is a big deal.
So I would give it a 4. What are you giving it for kid-friendly?
I didn't even think of that, so I was going to give it a 5 for kid-friendliness, but I didn't think of that. So I do kind of agree, though, that it's not no characters, no... I mean, yeah, they give you a coloring page and stuff, just like a typical restaurant
It's
would.
a typical restaurant.
Yeah.
It's not a T-Rex. It's not a...
Yeah,
any of those
I'll
that
go
have
for
things
it, too.
over the top. I feel like I swayed you, though. I should have let you say it first.
You did kind of sway me. Well, I didn't think of
Do you want to give it a
atmosphere.
4.5?
Yeah, I'll give it a 4.5.
There we go.
Because I do think I liked it a little more than you did.
4.25. No, I'm joking. We'll give it a 4.5.
You really want to do math.
Last but not least, value. What is the value of this restaurant? What are you giving it?
I really just want to say 5.
Okay, go with your gut.
I'm going to go with my gut, and I'm going to say 5 because some of the items, like, $24 for a cheeseburger or, whatever it is, like, that seems really expensive, but the food that you're getting is that good, and you are that full, and you don't feel like...
And I'll say this.
I just think it's a good bang for your buck.
For a half rack of ribs is $30. And these aren't like crappy ribs.
Yeah.
These are really good
your chain
ribs.
restaurant like ribs.
For $30 to get a half rack of ribs might seem a little expensive, but
these ribs are good.
They're really good. And if you're going to other places, you're probably going to pay a similar price. Teriyaki chicken, $25.
What's my chicken
Hibachi
lo
steak and shrimp, $37, $37.99, $38. But for shrimp, hibachi steak and shrimp, and to Rachel's point, you're talking big portions. I've never seen a portion size
these are really big portions.
That
like
is tiny.
bowls are bowls. Like
they're solid bowls, man.
Filled, and they're
your
not
lo mein chicken
empty.
is $22.
22.
So that's a pretty darn good price for the amount of the bowl you get.
I always bring noodles to go with me. I never finish it.
Always
I never
leftovers.
finish it.
So I do agree that you are paying a little bit more to eat here, but the quality of food and the amount of food that you're getting, I'm with you. I'm gonna have to give it a 5 for value. No doubt.
I do think it can be a little more expensive for some people, but for the food you're getting, for the caliber of food that you're getting, I almost think that you could definitely pay more for a similar meal somewhere else.
100%.
Or it feels like it's more expensive.
You could pay more and not enjoy it as much, frankly.
That's true.
I think
That's
somewhere
true.
else, too. So, let's tally all these up. Rachel gave a 4 for ambiance and theming, a 4 for offerings, a 5 for food, a 4.5 for kid-friendly, and a 5 for value. That is a total of 22.5. You divide that by 5, that is a total score of 4.5 for Yak and Yeti from Rachel. Do you feel good about that? I know sometimes with these you're like, I don't know if that's accurate.
I feel good about that one.
Mark gave 4 for theming, a 5 for offerings, a 5 for food, a 4 for kid-friendly, and a 5 for value. That's a total of 23. You divide that by 5, and we come out with a 4.6.
Wow.
I feel good about that. 4.5.
I'm surprised yours is a little higher than mine. But
yeah, that's what these have been. I've been a little more generous, I think
you have been. I've been a little more stricter
than you have been.
Yeah.
But I think that is a pretty accurate assessment of 4.6 or 4.5
I know. I feel good about
stars.
that. Some of the other resort reviews, I didn't feel good about because I weighed them differently. If you're going to weigh things, but I feel really good if you weigh these things equally towards each other. That is a good, honest assessment. Assessment or recommendation of that.
100%.
Of this restaurant.
I agree.
Yeah.
Definitely consider giving Yak and Yeti a try on your next trip. If I may, though, for a moment, I'm going to go on a little tangent here.
Oh, no. To end it.
After telling you all what a great restaurant this is, I think this restaurant used to be even better when you could get reservations easily for this place because nobody knew about it. And I understand some of you are listening and like, well, Mark, you're part of the problem. You're telling people how great this restaurant is. And you're not wrong. But I think that a lot of our vloggers and these people, in some ways, maybe this is a topic for a future discussion among us. This
kind of
used to
giving
be a
away the
hidden
secrets.
gem. It used to be a secret. It used to be only people in the know who would go to Yak and Yeti and would love it.
Yeah,
and
you had to know people.
Always could get a reservation there. Could always.
It was like empty all the time.
Well, I wouldn't say empty.
Not empty, but like easy.
But
walk up.
Easy to get.
You could walk up and get a reservation for 2 with no wait and walk right in and be fine.
Within reason. Not always.
Not always. Depending on the day.
It was a lot less.
I mean, now you look at it and that waiting room is always full.
Yeah.
Like people waiting outside full.
It is. So if you want to eat at Yak and Yeti, unless you're a Landry's member, which there are different restaurants that are part of that Landry's group, those people are always guaranteed to be able to walk up and to request the table and to get one within a certain amount of time. If you're not part of that group, which is a national group too, so even if you don't live in the Disney area, like it may be worth becoming a Landry's member so that way you get that advantage even when you're in Disney. But if this is a restaurant that you want to eat at, make sure you're getting that reservation at your 60-day mark when you can. Because otherwise, depending on how many people you have...
Yeah, making sure you keep track of your 60 days is important.
And the 60-day may not be, keep in mind, every month's not created equal. So
yeah, that's true.
It could be that you're getting there on the 15th, but that doesn't mean that 2 months before you can book on the 15th.
Right.
If there's a 31 day in there, or there's like a February and a leap year, like it may be a different day. You may not be able to book until the 16th of the 2 months in advance. So if you're going April 15th, for an example, you may not be able to book it on, would that actually work? With April and March, 30 days, 31 days in March. So yeah, I think that actually will work. If you were going to go in April, you may not be able to book it in February 15th. You may have to book it on February 16th, but this year is a leap year, so you may not be able to book it until the 17th.
You're reminding me of like the mad guy, the meme with like the science guy with like the board.
Just keep in mind that's not 2 months to the date.
But if you're using a travel agent like myself, I will remind you.
Right, that's your job. Well, that's your
my
job to do things like that. So,
but it gets crazy in life, so sometimes you need that little extra reminder.
That's right. So make your reservations for Yak and Yeti. Well worth it. You will not be disappointed.
Nope, not at all.
Well, folks, we hope that you enjoyed this restaurant review. As we mentioned, many more of these to come in the future. We'll do one a month for now, and we'll see how that goes. But if you like these and you want more of them, definitely let us know, because we can do as many of these as you want, because literally there are hundreds of restaurants and quick services and
or if there's any ones you want, sooner rather than later, let us know what your favorite restaurants are. And we can let you know if you're interested in
trying something out, you want to hear what we think about it, let us know. You can do that by sending us an email at startswithawish.podcast@gmail.com, or if you follow any of our social media accounts, which you should be doing, you can definitely send us a message through that platform as well. And remember, folks, it all starts with a wish. We'll see you real soon.
Bye.